Hey, Luke.
You're a law enforcement agent, aren't you?
I am.
What happens if I do this?
I just wave back with all four fingers.
Well, somebody got a ticket for it. We'll tell you more when Men Are So Smart continues. It's time for Corvette Ronnie's Crime Beat. Roll it!
An Indiana man sues after being ticketed for giving a state trooper the finger. I think we all know which finger he gave him. An Indiana man reportedly filed a federal lawsuit claiming his constitutional rights were violated when he was ticketed for giving an Indiana state trooper the finger.
Mark May of Terre Haute is seeking unspecified damages against Police Master Trooper Matt Ames, the Tribune Star reported, citing a complaint filed in court on Thursday by the American Civil Liberties Union of Indiana.
Yeah, May said in the lawsuit on August 21st, 2017, he flashed the middle finger at the state trooper after he claims he was cut off by Ames, who was pulling over another driver on U.S. Route 41.
May was issued a provocation ticket, which carries a fine of up to $500
Damn.
after he gave the trooper the rude gesture, which Indiana Criminal Code states is issued when a person who recklessly, knowingly, or intentionally engages in conduct that is likely to provoke a reasonable person to commit battery commits provocation.
Yeah, I don't know. Sound a little... I'm not sure about this. Kenneth Falk, legal director of ACLU, Indiana, argued that May's gesture towards Ames was fully protected by the First Amendment of the U.S. Constitution. While perhaps ill-advised, Mr. May's gesture, which in no way interfered with Master Trooper's lawful activities, was fully protected by the First Amendment. Falk
Wait a minute. That's freedom of speech.
That's true, but I think that when you give that finger, there's a phrase that goes along with that that's assumed.
Like that doctor from our last episode.
Yes,
and
yeah.
That person who you did the PO for.
Yes.
S-U-K-U.
That.
All right,
it's the same thing as this, that.
Now, do I have to bleep that too? Falk also claimed May's Fourth Amendment rights were violated because the state trooper had no cause whatsoever to initiate the stop in the first place.
You might be onto something there. Captain David Burston, who's the Chief Public Information Officer for Indiana State Police, told Fox News that as of Friday, the department had not yet been notified of the lawsuit, but stated that it often takes several days for the police unit to be informed after a suit is filed.
May was reportedly found guilty in court when he challenged the ticket. However, the Vigo Superior Court vacated the conviction, according to the newspaper. A self-employed carpet cleaner, May, claims he lost income because of court appearances and is also seeking attorney's fees in the lawsuit.
Well, I don't blame him for taking it to court, because if it carries a $500 fine, that's pretty steep.
That would be $5,000 per finger.
Yeah. Well, and I know some of the most expensive tickets I've have written are like red light tickets,
yeah,
which are right at about $500.
Yeah, $471, I believe.
And passing a school bus, which is also last time I wrote one, was $454.
Wow, that happened to me once, but it wasn't passing in the sense of like going,
red lights weren't on, or
no, the red lights were on, but it was on the opposite side of the street.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, but you're not supposed to go by even then.
Yeah, if it's an undivided roadway. If it's a divided roadway, you can pass it when the red lights are on.
I felt like a freaking bonehead. I was like, oh my God, I'm a parent, I have kids, I have grandkids, and I didn't even think about
But
that.
You see people do it all the time. Yeah. In fact, my buddy always brings this one up. So we used to have a spot at 8 o'clock in the morning. We would be on Sunrise Boulevard, which is a main thoroughfare in Sacramento County, and there was a bus stop there. And so I would sit in front of the bus and wait for somebody to buzz by when when the bus's red lights were flashing. So one morning, sure enough, somebody buzzes by. A second car buzzes right by also. I pull in behind. I actually just get behind the back car and turn my red lights on. Pulled them over at Antelope and Sunrise. Well, the first car that was in front also pulled in, thinking, well, that's
Volunteering?
very peculiar. Why would you volunteer to get a ticket? Well, it turns out it was a husband and wife. They had left at the same time. They travel a fairly similar route to work, but she just wanted to see what he was getting pulled over for, and I gave them both a ticket.
Good.
Yeah. So that's about $1,000 that they had to pay. That was an expensive morning.
Oh, as long as it isn't me.
Oh, boy.
On our next story in Corvette Ronnie's Crime Beat.
Cops shame idiot sad attempt to rob Pizza Hut driver.
Oh, I can't wait to hear
Oh,
this.
this is a sad attempt, by the way. A Washington State man robbed a Pizza Hut delivery driver at gunpoint for his $81 grub order and was later arrested.
Okay.
And publicly mocked by the police, we might add.
Mocking. You know how I feel about mocking.
I'm not sure I do, honestly.
It doesn't really matter.
The cops were able to track this guy down because he placed the order from the same phone number he had made an order from a couple days earlier.
Man, I made a stupid mistake, the 20-year-old delinquent told Pierce County Sheriff's deputies as he admitted he called in the food order and robbed the pizza girl on Friday with another pal whom he would not identify, police said.
Yeah, the
So
regret,
it was a girl.
which is even worse.
Ah,
Come on, man.
come on.
The regretful Crook went on to say he had messed up his life over $80 in pizza, and that's a felony. Any type of armed robbery,
Yeah.
felony. According to the cops, suspect had placed his food order for the pizza, cookies, and bread under the name David Adams. Seems
Yeah.
innocent enough to be delivered to an address in the city of University Place.
However, when the delivery driver arrived at 7 p.m., she called the customer and he told her to meet him in front of another building in the apartment complex.
At the meeting place, the victim was approached by two men, one who presented a handgun against the leg, and another who ordered her to hand over the food, the cops said.
The bandits fled with their $81.24 order, and the victim called police.
Yeah, and probably no tip either.
Yeah, for sure.
Responding officers then had Pizza Hut run the phone number used to place the order through its computer system, and it was discovered that an order had been placed from that number 4 days earlier under a different name and from an address in the exact same apartment complex.
Oh my gosh.
So when the cops went to that address, they heard loud music playing and smelled marijuana. Noting that when the officers knocked and announced police, someone inside the apartment said, "Don't answer," and the music was turned off.
I turned off the music.
Huh.
Cops then saw several people inside step out onto the third floor balcony to possibly make a break for it. From the third floor,
Yeah,
there's only one way to make a break.
Unless you're Spider-Man.
That's going down. But they were ordered to stop, and probably best they did.
Yeah. Officers entered the apartment and they found 5 men and 2 women, along with several Pizza Hut boxes containing half-eaten food that matched the order swiped during the heist, and a loaded Glock 40 caliber semi-automatic handgun.
The name of one of the men inside matched the name that placed the order days earlier. The suspect also admitted to cops that he robbed the delivery driver, also disclosed that he had recently stolen the gun he used in the stick-up.
Why not? If you're going to have one felony, you might as well have 2. What the heck? Cops booked the man whose identity was not released to Pierce County Jail for robbery and assault in the first degree. I'm sure they also booked him for the stolen gun.
Yeah.
His pals who were inside the apartment denied any involvement, which is always a good thing to do. And several noted that when they arrived, the suspect was already there with the food.
See, that's good planning. That's good party planning right there, to have the food ready before the guests come.
I mean, he wasn't
Thoughtful.
completely... yeah.
Very, very thoughtful.
Yeah.
The Pierce County Sheriff's Department mocked. Maybe this is the time to tell you how I feel about it. Don't mock me.
And also,
don't you ever mock me.
And don't touch you, and don't touch your
Don't
stuff.
touch me. Don't touch my stuff. So they mocked the stupidity of the robbery on Facebook, writing, if you are going to rob a pizza driver at gunpoint and you want to get arrested, you should use your own phone to order the pizza, call from the same number you ordered a pizza 4 days earlier, commit the crime in your apartment complex parking lot, use a gun you stole from someone at a party, be in possession of a cell phone, gun, and pizza when we come knocking on your door.
That's the 7-pronged prosecution right there. That's a do not pass go straight to jail.
Okay, so this guy comes away with $81 and a couple of pizzas.
Yeah.
And he's probably going to go away for 20 years.
He's going to prison. There's no question about it. I mean, if he's got a really expensive attorney, he might get away with maybe a year in jail if it's his very first offense ever. But more than likely, it's probably not. Although university places where this happened, I've got to imagine it probably happened pretty close to a college.
Yeah.
Probably a college student. So maybe, not in the safety of mommy and daddy's house. He might have tried something stupid, but wow, that's beyond stupid.
It really is.
But good police work on their part. Actually, there wasn't much police work.
Yeah, I was going to say, what police work? The guy did their job for them, really.
He did the whole thing for them.
All right, well, that wraps up Corvette Ronnie's Crime Beat. Roll it, please. All right, so that brings us to the conclusion of another episode of Men Are So Smart. Couple things I wanted to tell you before we scoot out of here. Check out our new website.
Oh, yeah, it's beautiful.
It's menaresosmart.com. I wanted to let you know right now that I am in the process of putting together a storefront inside our website where you will be able to purchase Men Are So Smart merchandise. I'm really excited, Ronnie. Wait till you see the t-shirts. They look good.
They look good on, too.
They do. At least he says it. The producer of my other show, he never does. He never will. Oh, the t-shirts are going to be great. And we're going to have stuff like coffee mugs, jock straps.
That was my idea.
That was his idea,
I
not
like
mine.
that. Yeah. So you can be a supporter of the program.
Okay, got it.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
I said it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. You'll find all of our information below, including our sponsors, which we hope when you need their services, you will call them, email them, whatever the case may be. I'll name them quickly. TikiManRadio.com, Capital Mobile Brake Supply or Service. There's Trico Welding Supplies and ANC Marine.
Boatman Adam. Yep.
So please support them. They help to bring the show to you every single week. That's going to about do it. I am Lou Gallagher.
I am Corvette Ronnie.
And this has been another episode of Men Are So Smart. We'll see you next time.
Yes.